Oh, I'll start the local recording. Greetings and welcome to DieDragonDie presents the Legends Campaign episode 64. I'm your DM and host Marty, joined by Adam, Ahmed, Mark.
Greetings.
And I'm Nathan. Kaiju action tonight here on episode 64. How is everyone doing and how is their week?
My dove had chicks, and now there's 4 little cute bastards in there. Every once in a while you can see them. They're out there, so cute with a bird, and there's another bird that flies around. Oh my god.
So
you should get a cat.
When these things die. He's going to be so upset.
I'm really hoping not to get a text from Jessica like, there's a dead one on the sidewalk. Whatever, like, if they fall at the nest. I mean, the nest is pretty stable. Like that chick has to be on some sort of adventure if it is able to fall out of the nest.
Right.
Yeah. So that's.
You realize you're setting us up for epic sad.
I know.
Epic feels bad, man. Nature feels bad.
I got a picture on my phone of like the little, because they're mostly they're still under the mom's ass, like big. They're still like they're little tiny like this.
I'm just assuming they're dead from now. That's how I kind of let myself down. It's like
Demon host. Sure, I just heard demon host. Yeah, I was speaking really fast. DM
Demon host.
Although if you mush them together, demon host is a good one.
You know, demon host is not a bad Twitter handle or whatever.
Demon host. I was thinking I'm like Beardo. For some reason when I was doing groceries today, I'm like, I wonder if anyone has Beardo.
Yes, somebody has Beardo.
Spelled with beard with an O, or maybe like weird, but instead of
with a B at the front.
With a B, yeah. Beardo. Of course, that's me just getting back from the barber's. The only reason why I go anymore is to trim the beard.
Can you comb the bits of food out of a beard?
No, I can do that on my own. But there's nothing worse when you go, zoop, oh, now I've got to even it out on the other side. Zoop, I got to even it a little bit more, and pretty soon you have no more beard. Yeah, that's my problem. Ahmed, how was your week?
It was good. I'm plagued with a bit of incompetence, but hey, who isn't, right?
Incontinence?
Incompetence.
Oh, okay.
Incompetence.
It's a little is it self-induced incompetence or
no? Something I don't want to get into because we're live. So, who knows?
All right, Mark.
Everybody Ahmed works with is perfectly competent.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm sharing this with your boss right now. Just typing up an email.
They know what I think already. I know. Hide my feelings.
Oh, you're that guy at work.
Yeah. My week was pretty good, but this morning I did something to set my wife off.
That happens.
And I thought it was just a little thing. But she hasn't spoken to me since 11 o'clock this morning.
And it's like
you
6, 7 o'clock
playing
tonight.
Shh.
Or invite her to game. Create a character for you. No.
Uh-oh. You're not going to tell us what it was, though?
Look at me. I know how to deal with women. They love me. Yeah.
All right, Mark did a bad thing.
I don't know what it was, honestly.
Bad thing.
I raised my voice at one point that seemed to upset her. I figured, okay, she's gone out. She'll get over it. She came home angrier than before. I'm like, well, how did that happen?
She got all riled up with her friends, or something else happened, and it compounded the thing. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's all good, man.
So what Mark is saying, if there's a sudden noise and he steps away from the computer for a bit, we know why.
Got it. So why don't we do before we do a recap? Why don't we do a quick bit of
Help me.
housekeeping. Now, the party members did sell a lot of their items, and we did about 6 months worth of downtime. And I didn't quite hear exactly what it is that they bought and built. I heard a few items throughout the week as there were questions for me as a DM over email, but maybe we can just go through a quick summary of the things that you bought for your characters, and we'll start off at the top of our list. So, Uker, what did you spend your money on?
Uker upgraded his hammer.
Yep.
A significant amount, so now he throws and it comes back. He upgraded his armor. He upgraded that shield that he got. He upgraded his ring of protection. He got a new pair of boots in the style of Thor that have little lightning bolts on them that can turn him into a lightning bolt and shoot across the battlefield.
Cool.
And he punched himself in the face a bunch of times to give himself more hit points.
Got it. So you retrained for hit points.
I retrained hit points. Okay. Yeah.
Got it. And basically, there are some parameters with downtime spending. The largest market that they have access to is Bartertown. Bartertown only has a purchase limit of 32,000. For those that are familiar with Pathfinder, 32,000 is nowhere near the upper limit of how expensive magic items can go, but it is sort of a limiting factor for these characters at this point in time. Also, there are a few crafters in the party, so maybe some of the armor and weapons might have gone beyond that 32,000 simply because they have the craft feats on Lokrik and on Midwick.
Ever so slightly.
Ever so slightly, yes. All right, so what did Donovan buy? Or how did he spend his money?
Donovan bought a
Skirt.
a skirt. No, not a skirt. A waistcoat of splendid performance that gives him a +10 perform sing, +10 perform keyboards. Think Elton John spangly smoking jacket.
Got it, with the piano jacket, the one that flops over the back of the bench when you're sitting down? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
He also bought a amulet of necklace of adaptation, so because breathing and poison are bad. Breathing is good, poison is bad.
Yep.
He built a belt of mighty con +4. He got improved his ring of protection to a +4. And he increased the buckler power on Hetty, his magical cloak. Finally, he did some face punch training, because between Belticon and the training for hit points, he's no longer a waif that will just get blown away by one spell, as could have happened multiple times in the last fight we had.
Yep.
He now has 194 hit.
I like how you've adjusted. So Uker's like, I need to power up quickly, and Donovan's like, oh, I need to be able to survive.
Right. Well, we're trying to manipulate my character to meet the situation. Yeah. So Donovan's hit points went from 130 to 194.
Wow.
I did.
That's clap.
Yeah,
okay.
That's good stuff.
Lemio, how did you spend your money?
Lemmy, so he bought the party 2 statuettes each. That if they're in a material plane, they can use one, depending on whichever one, to go to Vosgard, and the other one to go to Nalbert.
Okay, can you copy those at the bottom of everyone's sheet so you know that they've got it? And then put the actual
and Yig
spell
is
spell
the best.
Got it. So these are the things you break and you teleport to the place.
Those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Refuge, I believe, is the spell.
It's refuge is plane shift. That's basically what it's doing.
2 each.
One for Nalburn and one for Vosgard.
Kind of like get out of jail cards. Get out of jail.
Yeah, and himself too. And himself. So the other thing he bought is Rod of Giant Summoning Greater, which allows for 9th circles and down. 9th circles and down, yeah.
Yep.
Anything he summons from that little circle is one size category larger, like, I don't know, a T-Rex.
Okay.
Just putting that out there.
Yep.
And then Metamagic Rod of Reach, so I can heal people without actually having to be in melee.
Yep, I think that there's a whole kind of touch to short range, short to medium, medium to long.
Yeah, it's
long,
touch.
super long.
So when we gain a level and I get 8th, I'll be able to do it at 240 feet. Touch, heal.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Cloak resistance 3 to 5. Belt of Con.
Wait a second. Let's just take a moment.
You dumbass!
You did it. There were a couple characters at this level that were walking around with like cloaks and vests of resistance +2, and one of them was Lemmy, which you need your equipment to kind of scale along with your power. Basically, he was skimping on his saving throws, which is not the thing you want to skimp on. But yeah.
Yeah, so that's fixed. That's
Okay.
fixed. And then we went to what if things go bad? We've got a +6 con belt to help with this, and then followed by some face punching.
How did you get a +6 con belt?
I bought that.
Too expensive.
+4 con belt.
Yes.
Plus 4 is right on the
+6 con belt is 36.
No.
And
70,
you double the
72.
cost.
You didn't double it.
Like in every other Marty campaign, the ability score
Stuff on it.
adjustments are
So 32. So I'll take 4,000 off.
Okay. All right. Basically,
Yeah,
we have a
4,000
house rule
back.
where we double all the costs and prices of any item that affects your ability scores, and people still pay the price because that's how like powerful those ability things are.
People rarely go to +6 unless they're swimming in coin.
Right.
And then-
But that's
Before
probably
we got anything
probably how it
else,
should
like
be,
just
though.
belts.
Yeah, I think
belts,
before
belts.
Oberon went away, he had Oberon upgrade his belt to +6.
Oh yes. Oh, I saw the writing in the sky. Marty was like, Oberon spent a lot of time crafting recently. I need more money. Give it to
I chuckled a little bit at that, but yeah. All right, so that was Lemmy. He upgraded
And
his
his
armor.
His
Yep.
armor went to +4, and it became wild. So whenever he wild shapes, his armor still is
His
effective.
armor still applies and is still visible.
Yeah.
Cool. Midwick.
smart.
Midway got a engineer's gloves, which gives him +5 bonus when crafting.
Yep.
And then he also
You should
bought-
probably spend another 5,000 gold pieces in that if you've got it to boost them to +10.
Yeah, I do. All right, done.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So his pistols went from +3 to +5.
Yeah, he has the craft skill. We did the quick calculation. He has the craft skill to craft +5 weapons.
He did go to sleep and become a mummy again.
Right. He finished his mummification process. Great.
He made his armor from +2 to +5.
Yep.
And then he added Shadow Greater, which gives him +15 to stealth.
Yeah.
And he added Delving, which gives him a 10-foot move speed into Earth, like Earth Glide.
Okay. No,
And
it's
then
not
he
like
added-
Earthglide. It's Burrow.
It's Burrow. Yeah.
You
Cushioned.
can't. So let's just talk about that for a
It's
second.
not through solid. It's not through solid.
Correct. You
stone.
can't go through solid
Yep.
stone. You can burrow your way through gravel if you wanted to, or
gravel
or
and earth. Yeah.
Yep.
Cushioned, 20
Now
foot.
on, we only fight on beaches.
20 foot. Cushioned is 20-foot featherfall.
No, cushion
Basically.
could only
Cushion
apply.
is not there because it doesn't apply to armor that's made of
Oh, yeah,
metal.
sorry.
We have to go through this again.
Yes. Oh, no. We don't. It's Glamored is just cool because now his armor looks like clothing.
Whatever he wants
Doesn't
it
look
to.
like-
Yep.
Yeah. Determination, once a day, breath of life. And etherealness, which once per day can turn ethereal and can stay that way all day.
Once per day, when you drop 0 or fewer hit points, it automatically provides a breath of life spell.
That's a
And
good
then
one.
balanced, I chose will, so I can take my armor bonus, my enhancement bonus, and turn that, lose it from my armor, and give it to one of my saving throws.
It's also bloody expensive. Just as a
Yep. And then
Paid
and then
for it.
etherealness. So he went crazy because he's got craft feats and a lot of money on his.
And these bonuses they're 0 bonus. It's just like gold value.
yeah,
So they didn't increase
the effective
bonus.
market price of your armor right now is 7. Okay.
it's
So,
you 7 plus all.
Plus all these other things. Yeah.
And that's it. That's
Okay.
it.
That's it for
Yeah, the
Midwick.
other ones are just bells and whistles.
Azildan, how did you spend your cash?
Well, you've spent it on bows, basically. The first thing he had to buy was a Circle of Intelligence +2 with the craft bows skill in it, so Lokrik could craft a bow.
That is so smart.
Second thing he did was have Lokrik craft him a +3 Brilliant Energy bow.
Okay. Just keep in mind that brilliant energy is not equivalent to the gun. It does include
I do realize
natural
that.
armor. Yeah.
I do
Okay.
realize that.
Okay.
Are you happy, Ahmed? That's how powerful your guns are.
Just as a quick side note,
cheating.
is So I looked at how they treated armor class in the Starfinder system, and they basically have two armor classes. One is a kinetic armor class, and one is an energy armor class. So guns would apply to your kinetic AC, which would effectively be your AC in Pathfinder. So they actually went backwards with guns, and made it playable again. So just
they unbroke it in their new system. Yeah. They went, those rules we wrote were dumb.
Yeah. So now we're 64 games in, probably 20
Our
games.
Rules aren't going to change, but
the rules aren't going to change, but the multiverse may be rewritten at the end of Ragnarok.
Good, because Adam has been salty about these gun rules. We didn't have to play it. I read them, and I'm like, no.
You guys haven't gone full tilt against the Empire yet.
Balthazar. He'll be this little guy. He'll have a cannon. It'll be fine. It's like, no.
Fine. I'm not open.
Moving on.
If I change the rules now, one player's upset and one player's happy. If I leave it as is, one player's grumbly and the other one's happy. So optimizing for player happiness, we'll just keep it as it is.
Yeah. No. I feel so vindicated right now. Somebody at Pazio learned a thing.
No, we want the guns against the kaiju. We want the guns against the kaiju.
I have not seen a kaiju entry. I have no idea what we're up against.
I didn't. Yeah.
I vaguely remember a template from 3.0 or 3.5, and it's.
So you bought a bow. You upgraded your ring and an amulet.
I bought a bow. Upgraded my current bow to a +4 distance.
Yep.
I upgraded my ring protection +2 to a +4. My amulet of natural armor from +2 to +4. And what was the other thing I bought? Eyes of the Eagle +10, so +10 to perception checks.
Swanky. All right, Altagar.
Altagar upgraded his belt of strength +2 to a +4.
Nice.
He upgraded his cloak of resistance from +4 to +5, and he had a +5 defending huge guisarme crafted called Kingsguard.
Right, so Loka crafted this one for you.
Yes.
You received it after you became king of the Fomor and the Firbolg, and +5 defending. Let's just take a quick look at defending. Because I don't think it's a bonus that always applies. I think it applies after you do a thing.
You have to take your turn.
As a free action, the wielder chooses to allocate his weapon's enhancement bonus at the start of his turn before using his weapon, and it lasts until his next turn. So it has to be. It has to be done in combat. Is effectually.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it has to be after my turn.
And you have to be wielding it, which means you can't just have one on your belt that you.
Yeah.
Yep. But still, all of your unarmed attacks can still happen with your thing in your hands. And then this is a trip weapon, and it's huge because your huge doesn't increase the range.
No, but it's huge because I can just carry huge. So if I'm going to hit something, I might as well hit him with something
big. So large Altagar with his threatens 10 feet around him with his unarmed attacks, and then 15 and 20 feet out.
The other part of huge is that if Altagar drops his polearm before Lemmy turns him into a huge elemental, and then he picks up his polearm, which did not get affected by the spell, he now has a huge polearm with huge reach benefits.
So that would be 15 feet out, plus another 15 feet for the polearm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus
his width, which
plus
is
long arm,
20.
plus lunge, plus plus his retributive range. Yeah.
So before this, Altagar could actually cover the entire one half of the 401.
Yep.
like the whole biggest fucking highway.
6-lane highway. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Now he could actually get like east and west.
Both.
Like he could get in both directions.
Just whapping cars as they go by.
You shall not pass.
Okay, this is like my jaw's dropping a little bit because this is a significant improvement to Altagar.
Casts within like 70 feet of us. No casting within 70 feet.
Right, because you can poke someone with it because he's got an AOO, right? With his
right. And he casts
And his
defensively,
extra
pokes you anyway.
actions, he doesn't have to punch with his mythic actions. He can use a two-handed weapon. He's got the strength for it.
Yep.
Oh, I see. I sensed there was some communication between Adam and Mark this last week around this thing.
It was minor.
The two worlds of Twig collided here. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with you spending money on things that you guys can use. But it's like, wow. Okay, I already see it as wow. Okay. And then Lowcrick upgraded his own axe to +5. He upgraded his armor to +5 greater energy resistance, which was really expensive. He upgraded his ring to +4. His vest of resistance is now +5. And I think that's it. He spent a lot of money in a few things. And he finished his research. He has Bard's Escape, which I'm going to have to read again because I forget what it does.
It's a little, it's a teleportation spell.
He also has one I'm going to leave as a surprise. There's a surprise spell on here, and it has to do with hero point rules. There are spells that affect hero points.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm going to leave that as a surprise.
There was some spell research. I forgot to mention the spell research. Monstrous Humanoid, or Monstrous Physique 3 was learned by Uker, but he has to find... I don't know, was Uker able to find any bits of a Monstrous Humanoid at Bartertown, or do I have to, like, the quest for the big thing? Either way is cool.
So in Bartertown, you could have found... What are some standard monster
There are no standard Monstrous Humanoids that are huge that I know of.
Yeah, there's something else that Lemmy has to do. Remind me.
There's one standard Monstrous Humanoid in one book that was like the most recent monster manual.
Yeah, so keep your eye out this game, maybe?
We're going to the planet of big things, which
Yeah.
is fine. That spells mostly for flavor. The other spell that was learned was Delayed Consumption. So Donovan, Uker, and Altagar have all chosen their Delayed Consumption potions as death wards. Midwick, Lemmy, Azzy, and Lokric have to choose theirs. They have to be cast once every 14 days. It acts like a contingency spell, except you trigger it as a free
It's an
action.
immediate action.
It's an immediate action to trigger.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was looking for monsters.
Imagine a contingency spell that's an immediate action to cast, as opposed to making a trigger. And
Okay,
that's what delayed
and
consumption is.
Donovan put this on you guys?
No, Uker and Lokric, or Uker learned it from Midwick, so Uker and Midwick are basically putting on everybody, and then you get an Alchemist fourth circle potion, and everybody else took Death
Can you
Ward.
put these, because they're kind of like contingencies, like right at the top of the character sheets?
At the
or-
top? Okay.
At the top, or maybe on the combat sheet? I'm not sure where this probably should live.
Both of my
By hero
characters were
points,
casters,
maybe?
so I put it beside the spells, but...
Yeah, maybe a section underneath the spells for the spellcasters, like contingencies or whatever this is called. So it's an immediate action to have a potion that you also put inside them as an infusion.
Right. So there's battle options for this, but
Yep. And
right
it lasts
now
for
we're
how
just going
long?
with Death Wards. They last for 1 day per caster level.
Okay.
And the day we
also have we could combine potions.
you
So,
could put something else.
That stuff.
Now, the way, just because I don't want to, I personally don't want to track that nonsense. I would be happy on days to know if we did that. It's like 1 mythic point for Midwick and 1 mythic point for Uker to do it for everybody, and then to just roll a d14 right now to figure out if it's the day that you spent a mythic point doing this in the morning. That sound good?
Okay. Game 63 was called A Traveler of Both Time and Space. Anybody want to do the summary for this?
Yeah. Still doing my delayed consumption.
Yeah.
This is interesting because I know in great detail what my characters did and saw, but I don't know in great detail what other characters did and saw because I was busy spending money like a greedy bastard.
Got it.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, I can do a sort of a high level summary then.
So it's got to be an extract that for the delayed consumption?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
see invisibility mixed with something is a high recommend.
I've added the 2 tokens to your character sheets under consumables for Nalbryn and Dvergholm.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
And Low Creek got one as well.
Oh, right. I put that under a different sheet. Okay, so there were 6 months had gone by, and what had happened during those 6 months is really the
Crafting,
really what we're asking
buying,
here.
Researching.
Altagar becomes kings of 2 small giant nations, that of the Firbolg and Fomori. He is offered wives in various ways, and Altagar basically wants to delay any of those decisions until the war is done. The war being Ragnarok, or the war to end all wars, as some of the gods have called it. They fought some orcs all the way up to Yggdrasil, scattering their numbers. There's still news of chaos on the main continent, with orcs probably pouring through the gate as opposed to through Yggdrasil. Galeth leaves Arthur Sate on a quest on the continent, ironically for the Sangral, or perhaps even for Caliburnus, the sword once wielded by Arthur. In Bartertown, gnolls are everywhere. They have come not to invade, but to trade, but in such large numbers that they've become a nuisance. Many of the merchants are modeling their security off of the Jackal King and hiring gnolls to guard their shops. And the gnoll invasion is taking a form that was unexpected. Dvergholm, underneath Lokrik's sister, as regent, is militarizing heavily, uniting many of the northern territories surrounding Dvergholm and Runeshod. I have made a list of all the units and war assets you guys have at your command so far. Maybe this is building up to a massive conflict, and it might be worth going through that list in a moment.
25 cannons and 5 fireworm cannons.
Lemmy evacuates Stemaglen using his powerful spells in less than a week.
That was awesome.
As Stemaglen
1,500 people
was
and other
collapsing because the seed that was used to create that pocket dimension was stolen by Lemmy. I mean Remy. I mean Lemmy.
Did I do it?
Turns out to be Fight Club. Remy was all a figment of your imagination. It was all you the whole time.
It was good for Lemmy to see his friends, but many of his friends still think that he stole horrible things from them, as a lot of them don't seem to remember Remy. Vaguely recalling that he may have had a cousin.
So bad. I'm sorry.
Gemma Dree,
It is what it is.
your betrothed, is pregnant with a child that is not your own.
Yeah, it's cool. Cheating bitch, but whatever.
Wow. Wow.
Says what he thinks, and he thinks what he says.
Right.
How
Right out
dare
there.
you do it?
I blame you!
Trud claims 2 kingdoms, and Vossen is actually losing a little bit of territory to him. However, Vossen seems to be inward-looking, as their king is excited for this new dragon crown that is near done or already has completed. Vossen is completely reliant on the gate for grain, most of it coming through Bartertown. And there is news of horrible fighting in the lands to the south of the Lakelanders' territory. Rumors of fell mass rituals in the Lakelander territory as devils walk the street and are starting to demand their tithes.
I was about to say Azildan might go look at the Lakelanders, but apparently everything's in hand if devils are walking around, because that's apparently his people now.
You don't need to be attacked. You can pull this ship around.
In Bartertown, there's news of the war against the demons on some remote world not going so well.
We're dealing with it. trying our best.
Which is a reference to the other campaign, Demon Watch.
Weird, got so destroyed.
Thursday.
Go watch that last episode if you want to see people
Getting their
in over their
ass
heads
just-
and being like,
just-
"Oh, I can't hurt it."
Donovan, in trying to appease Coralon, and bless Lemmy's, well, I guess
Baby.
Gemadre's child, caught the attention of Coralon, and he took him on a mystical journey into the sky. Do you remember exactly what was your interpretation of that journey? Like, I don't want to put things in your head. I'm bad at that, by the way.
You're bad for that. You're
Yep.
good at putting things in the head. Dirty.
Yes, that's kind of what I mean.
So there was a show of several problems. One of the big ones being basically a warning to go to the Forge of Anam.
Yep.
Because a weapon is being made for Cert. As well, there was a glance of Lemmy's family. That was shown, and a general sense of being ill at ease. My note that I have here was Cert uses God as a takeout baggie for a son. And
Okay.
go visit the Molnir dwarves. Those are my takeaway notes from the encounter.
Yep. Oh, okay. So Cert is crafting a blade, and he was using the corpse of a deity to harness the power of a sun. Do you remember? Do you remember what else he showed you?
You have a naval thing.
Darkness. The darkness is coming.
The two gnomes stuck in time, running away from the big.
Was Lemmy's
okay.
family.
Oh, Lemmy's family. Okay, that's what. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, yes, the two gnomes stuck in time. Lemmy's family. Stuck with the Black Void thing. Yes.
Yep.
That. Yep.
They might be able to help us.
Okay, so that's Donovan.
You might be in this odd situation where your mum is younger than you.
Donovan
That's cool.
communes with Coralon.
Do that.
Okay. So Cert's, you learn about Cert's sword. We'll call it the God Sword, and the Pit of Darkness. Okay. What else happened? So Lemmy, Altagar, Midwick, Azildan, and Donovan disguise themselves as Nalburnese musket men.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
and then later as soldiers, Imperial soldiers, Imperium soldiers. They stole a ship's wheel from a galleon, and then traveled to Halidon, which is a city on Nalbrin, the island, as opposed to the main continent, where many of the soldiers from the Imperium were taking refuge because of the orcs causing chaos on the main continent. In Halidon, they abduct an officer.
yes. I'm more body than you, Bod. We
and-
adopted Gaston from friggin' Beauty and the Beast.
Right, so they abducted, what was his name? Major Andre Chevalier.
We treated him so badly.
Wasn't bad. He got away alive.
Who was an officer that belongs to the, what do we call the military unit? The
the
Imperial
bands.
The Imperial Marching Band.
Marching band, yeah.
Yep.
I was trying to think.
The Imperial Marching Band Corps. Yeah.
All I could think of was like nerd in high school, a nerd.
Okay, so I think this is a good place where I can kind of fast forward just a little bit to where you are right now.
Marty?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. We did want to roll for the planar rods that Lemmy was looking for.
Oh
Yes.
yes.
Right.
And,
Okay.
and while you do that, I have to step away for about 5 minutes.
Give me a D3 plus 1. These are, you're looking for planar rods as your
Yeah.
while you were doing.
Can I add a surge?
No. How many you find?
Oh man.
Okay, give me 2D9s.
Okay.
Actually, no. 2 more D2s, flipping coins. 1 is prime, 2 is outer plane.
Okay. 1 prime, 1 outer.
Okay.
And then what would you like?
A D9.
Okay. 2.
Okay. You find a planar rod to the world that Bartertown is on.
Okay.
That's 1,000 gold pieces.
1,000. Okay, that's.
It
no
is
problem.
a 96% quality rod,
Okay. That's
and the name of the world is Forlind.
Forlind. Okay, and the other one.
The other one is to the neutral good plane.
Okay.
Outer planes. Which I believe is Elysium? Bytopia, Elysium, or Beastlands are all neutral good. Let's roll a d3. 2, Elysium.
Okay.
Elysium is called the Blessed Fields. It is aligned to neutral good. It's a plane of peace and unadulterated goodness. It is home to the Cardinals and some sun deity named Palor.
Okay. And the percentage?
99.
Okay. And this is an outer.
Yep.
99%. Bartertown material. Okay. That's cool.
We'll say that it leads to Palor's realm of Light's Blessing.
Palors. Okay. Blessing. Okay. I'll take that.
Okay.
Deal. Cool. Thank you.
And Light's Blessing is on the first layer of Elysium called Amoria, which sounds a lot like the other one you had. Abelio is the first layer of Arcadia, whereas Amoria is the first layer of Elysium.
First layer of Amoria?
A first layer of Elysium. Elysium is the plane, and normally planes have layers. Amoria
Yeah.
is the first layer of Elysium. And Palor's realm is a subset of Amoria.
Okay.
Or a small territory within Amoria. Okay.
Thank you.
So, anything else before we jump in?
Nope. Oh, for me, no.
Mark?
I'm good.
Did you guys go and fetch Uker?
Yes.
We'll go fetch Uber.
Okay.
We're also going to research.
Or
Limited
Adam would just quit the game.
He might, wouldn't he? He's like, my character of strength can't go do the character of strength thing. All right.
Yeah.
And then after fetching Uker, where do you go? You have this this guy that you're dragging around who looks absolutely miserable. That you dragged him away from Nalbrin and into
The beast place.
Yeah, Immensa.
Immensa.
Okay.
Yep.
Let me see
Why are
if I
you
find
so glum?
I do not know why am I doing here. I thought I was supposed to get you through the gate and then you were going to let me go. I don't know what all these gnome people are. He's actually calls dwarves gnomes.
Donovan, find out the other songs. He knows how to get to my world. Come on.
That is not the agreement. I will sing the songs for you and then you will let me go, right? Eh? Eh?
Is that the agreement you made with him?
He's an idiot.
Is that the agreement you made with him?
Donovan says, he gives a wishy-washy answer. He's like, well, that's sort of what we agreed on.
Well, then you adhere to your agreements. And afterwards, I will capture him.
What language were you talking to Donovan about this?
Elvin.
He seems oblivious. He doesn't know Elven.
Okay.
Why would he learn the little languages of the subjects of the Imperium?
They have to learn his language, damn it.
Well then, are we headed towards a gate? Which gate are you using to travel to an imperial world?
Do you want to go to Barter Town, then go to then go to Immensa?
Yeah.
I think that would be safer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you getting to Bartertown?
We're going to Boston Saga and going to make them.
Hold on. Okay, so we're on Nalburn.
Yep. No, well, right now you went back to go get Uker, so...
Yeah,
So we went to
Vosgard. We're in
Vosgard.
Vosgard right now.
Yep.
And then so we'll go to Bartertown. We can just plane shift.
Okay, how many people can you plane shift? 8?
8.
Is that including yourself or in addition to?
8 holding hands. It says 8 holding hands. Oh yeah, I'll
Okay.
just reread that.
So it's total. It means you're leaving Dane Kinder behind.
Because he has no hands.
No, because Major Chevalier is the 8th person.
Duel. Okay, plane shift. Is it 8 plus? Plane shift. Is it 8 plus the guy that you're bringing with you, or creatures touched, or up to 8 willing creatures joining hands? 8 willing creatures joining hands. So I guess that includes me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Okay, I'll just come get Dinkinder after.
Okay, you plane shift from Vosgard
Yeah, I need to roll a d100
to where?
to Bartertown.
Can't.
Oh, sorry.
Melbourne? What? Where?
Did we just pick up Hooker?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We just picked up Uker. We're gonna plane shift to.
And Azildan asked Donovan if that was the deal you made with Andre, that you would, he would teach you the song. He would sing the song for you, and then you let him go.
Yes. Oh yeah, we weren't gonna.
Yeah. Azildan might
Okay.
recapture him afterwards.
Azildan could recapture him at any point he wants. I'm assuming not right away. I would assume just generally. I can see Mark thinking. Thoughts are going through his head.
Okay, so we need to get to outer plane.
Or a pocket dimension.
Yeah, let's just use Arthur's Sate and then jump again.
Okay.
We'll actually put a hood on his head.
Okay, so you put a hood on his head. Is
Yep.
this actually required?
Yes. It's that or sleeping.
But I am not tired right now, so I think the hood is pretty good.
So we'll go to Arthur Sate, and then we'll use Bartertown.
Okay, so you go to Arthur Sate. You catch wind that Galeth has already left for the main continent, and you notice that some of Galeth's followers have begun to arrive. Like there
Okay.
are some humans and knights
Okay.
as well. They don't seem to have any problems with the gnomes.
Oh, by the way, where we teleport to when we
The
use those
elves.
diamonds, those items that refuge brings you back to, is there is a trading post between the lake and Arthur Sate. Like they're bringing back and forth food, right? So it's actually on the land, the main mess land, where the people show up with the food, but a little bit outside, like by like half a click
the
outside.
entire pocket dimension of Arthur Sate is the entire island.
No, sorry.
And your-
so
and your
the
gnomes-
refuge
your
token
gnomes
is
are-
for Nalburn. I'm sorry, I'm referring to the refuge token on Nalburn.
Okay.
It's gonna appear on Nalburn where the food comes out from the island to the mainland,
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
but about half a click out. So we're not appearing like we're appearing in the woods, and then we'll walk in to get help if we need to.
Okay. You found a sufficient tree to make the focal point of your refuge
Yeah.
token. Okay.
And then we plane shift to Bartertown.
Okay. Lemio seems to, with one of the rods that he found, to Forlind, be able to plane shift to Bartertown.
We're good.
Is this the port city? Is this the trade city of Bartertown?
Yep.
Yes.
He says underneath his hood.
You can tell by the smell.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Interesting
I'm
way
kidding.
of getting
It's
around,
terrible.
he
It's,
says.
it's terrible.
Uker's gonna go get a good sniff of Major Andre.
Okay. He smells of sweat, liquor, bit of perfume.
Just so I can recognize it in the future if I need to.
I thought I heard one of you say Bartertown earlier. It's interesting way of getting around. You know that the priesthood, and it was the internal magic user of the Imperium that are allowed to use such rods. Us lower-ranking officer and others are not allowed to use these things.
Interesting.
You should not be caught with these things, my friends.
We're in Bartertown. We're not worried about your people.
Oh, do not worry. Bartertown is on the list of places to slowly take over.
Yeah, we're terrified. Azildan doesn't know the the scope and breadth of the Imperium. It's like, they got
Right.
Right now, the place has jackal problem.
Yeah, you see gnolls everywhere. A bunch of layabouts, and you could hear the like chittering gnoll laughter, the kind of nervous laughter echoing here and there. Some of them are actually moving goods in big bushels of grain, while others are just laying about. There are some that are obviously guarding, and some that are not. They're just everywhere. Like half of the people you see around this dock area in Bartertown are gnolls.
This place got a lot hairier than it used to be, isn't it?
Not so bad. Just need to give them good alpha.
Major Andre Chevalier is peeking when you say that.
You need a nap? Put your hat back on.
No, I just wanted to know what you meant by airier. I thought that was a peculiar expression.
No, he said hairier, not airier. It's not airier around here.
Airier.
No, hairier. He said hairier.
Airier.
And that goes on for 5 minutes.
Yes, he does a weird thing with his H's. Wait until he says the word 3.
Well, let me like the way he says tree.
Tree. It is the third thing.
Third. Okay. Right. I'm uncertain as what we're doing in the plan, so let me lead the way.
You're muted if you didn't.
Son of a! I'm gonna use the ring, and this is where he's gonna sing from.
Hey, you! Get out of the way! We gotta bring this grain through. We've got shipments to move. You can see a bunch of fucking like tired-looking gnolls with grain sacks over their shoulders, kind of looking annoyed at you guys, standing on this big platform in front of the gate.
Donovan, this might be a good time for you to start picking these things up, right?
Yeah.
We can't wait here. We'll step out of the way. All right, do your thing.
Okay.
No, stop. Don't sing. Donovan, do your thing.
Some guy starts singing at the gate, and there are symbols that start.
Do I recognize the?
Yeah, it's
song?
Shavazgard.
Did they let a sheep think first?
No.
Getting out of the way.
Okay. So you guys gonna go off to the side, and then the gate opens, and they go through their process, and they're moving bags of grain, and there's a boat that's being loaded up with grain, almost to the point where it's taking on water.
You need the bigger vessel for grain.
Okay, they seem to they know who you are. They step around you. They're kind of ignoring you as it's sort of business as usual.
Right. When this close, you sing.
Okay, so you notice that it closes, and then they wait for a little bit because they sent the balloon through, and then they begin singing again.
Lemmy's Midwick's actually drinking a buff or two.
Okay.
And Lemmy's gonna start buffing. He's turning his invisible.
I don't think that you should go dressed like this, he says. Unless you have put up your clever disguise this time. Of course, an officer with a bag around his head may not also be a good thing.
True enough. Donovan will cast a veil spell,
Okay.
and Major Andre Chevalier will look like an old man with cataracts. He
What
will
is
still have
this?
a bag on his head.
And he still has a bag over his head?
Well, no, he doesn't. You can't see
Okay.
the bag over his head. He looks like an old man who can't see.
Oh. Alright, what are you guys looking like?
We're gonna look like I will be an officer. We have multiple guards. Midwick will be a lower-ranking officer to myself. And
The rest of us are grunts.
Lokrik will look a little bit important. And Uker will look particularly slow.
Give me a disguise check just to see how well your officer disguise are.
Okay.
You can add 10 because a spell is involved.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll make Midwick will make his armor look like people clothes.
This supersedes that. It's a much higher level spell.
Still,
45.
45. Okay. So Donovan was convinced he did a good job at mimicking some of the officer and non-officer uniforms that he saw in the lounge. They had a particular word for the lounge. It was salon in Halidon. So you look like Imperial soldiers is effectively what you... Okay. Except for Andre, he looks like an old man with... an old man.
Andre looks like an old man.
Yep.
An old man with cataracts. We're also going to throw up a sculpt sound.
And by throw up, you mean cast?
Cast.
Put up?
I will place up.
It didn't sound like that because it's sculpted.
It's sculpted. It is sculpted. To give us the appropriate jingle jangles of the clothes that we're wearing.
Okay.
And to cover up any sort of weird racial intonations of voices. And Major Andre Chevalier will have an old man heavy huffy voice that can't go beyond a quiet speaking voice.
All right.
Good times, buddy.
What are we doing?
Don't worry, play the part.
All right, so you noticed that there were some Vosgardian merchants that were watching you guys, and then you put up these spells, and some of them are walking away now. Others who are approaching the gate seem to freeze at the presence of Imperial soldiers. Like, some people actually recognize you guys for what you've disguised yourself as.
Top of the day to you.
There's one merchant that is actually approaching and says, Hey, it's my turn! Get out of here! You're not scheduled for this! Like you've never seen Bartertown so busy.
Interesting.
You there! And you see him retreating and talking to actually some kids. Some kids are now running off to go talk to Mojo.
Yeah, go tell Mojo. Or
Yep.
I think
Which
it's
gives you an
Mojo.
opportunity to use the gate if you wanted.
Yeah. Right. The song.
Okay, he starts to sing, but his voice is really low.
I listen to it and I will amplify the notes.
Okay. He had a false start, like he's like, what's going on here? Like, he doesn't understand what you did to his voice. But he does begin to sing begin to sing the song to Immensa. It sounds like horrible music, but the symbols along the gate begin to light up. Give me a knowledge or a perform sing check to see if you can mimic this. Are you writing this down too, or?
Yeah. 52.
Okay, so you now have in your repertoire of songs the song to Immensa. The gate flashes open with the final intonation, and then I guess you turn off the amplification of the old man's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Hi! You can hear a bunch of people yelling because you guys are cutting in line. You hop on a series of rafts that lead to the open gate, and you step through into the capital city and trading town of Monde Neuve.
Sweetness.
I might have tweaked some of the names of this place.
Nah, it's fine.
Yeah. Monde Neuve, Donovan, you realize actually translates to New World.
It's... There's gotta be Wookiees here. This place will have Wookiees. Alright.
Immediately, so using the song gate, the party arrives in the Imperium-controlled city of Monde Neuve on the wild jungle planet of Immensa. Monde Neuve is a small town nestled in a defensible mountain valley carved from ancient trees and rock. Donovan, you immediately recognize there are elvish styles to some of the buildings, in particular those that have been carved out of trees. The residents are varied, including those that arrived via the Songgate long ago, like the thunderbeast riding Mackay. You see there are some people in the village who have like top knots and weird tribal tattoos, humans, but basically not obviously from the Imperium, as well as their Imperial overlords. Like, there's a good mix here. You expected just to be endless Imperium.
Is overlords in the description? They didn't write the description. The Imperium, that is.
No, I wrote it.
Saviors or
Welcome to Imperium.
Upon your arrival, the Imperium Upon their arrival to here long ago, the Imperium took control of the town, renamed it, and fortified its walls. You do see soldiers with muskets wandering around. It is very warm here. It's kind of like a very warm, humid temperature. Even in the nestled valley with the high buildings that were built out of massive trees, there may be a small waterfall nearby, providing the town with water. And there is a bustling trade